Welcome back to Freedom in Hours. Andy here, really excited to have you back with us today. Today we're going to be looking at how distraction costs you money. So we're going to be looking at why distraction is limiting what you can do in your life. Very much, most of us these days are living by distraction. We're living based on inputs coming into us and we're not controlling our own life. The impacts of that is that we're stressed, overworked, and feel like we're not in control of what we're doing. So in this episode, we're going to look at what's causing distractions, how we can be in control of distractions, and what we can do to use this to help create a great life for us moving forward. All that coming up on Freedom in Hours. So why are we being so distracted in this life? Well, if you think about it, there's a never-ending stream of inputs coming in towards us, whether that's social media, inputs from work, the television, media, it's all coming to us. So very often, even if you have a clear mind, so say you get up in the morning, you're really positive, you step out of your bed and you think, this is going to be my day, I'm really going to achieve. You look at your phone straight away, there's a text message, can you come into work early? Or you jump on and check your social media feed and, Joe's got the new car that you always wanted. Straight away, you're being distracted. And that's a lot different to what in the past. In the past, before we had social media, before we had electronic devices, it was quite a lot easier for us. We did have the phone that people could call, but never was things intruding into our lives so much as they are today. Now, I call it living by distraction. So most of us have very, very full and busy lives, and that's fine. I'm more than happy for you to enjoy your life and get out there and live it. But the problem is when we want to start to grow or succeed and achieve more. Success and growth always comes last. Now, I really appreciate, again, you guys being part of this podcast YouTube channel and being here listening to me today, because you're all already ahead of most people. You're actually taking the time for yourself to start learning more and improving your life. And already you're ahead of all the other people there that can't do that. See, living by distraction means that you're just running from one fire to the next, always putting things out. And I have to admit, I was guilty of it myself. So 10 years ago, before my mentor, John, came to teach me, I was highly stressed. I had jobs, I had family things to do, I had friends, I had to pay the bills, I had to go and do this and do that. It was very, very stressful. And it always felt like I wasn't in control of what I was doing. And what I did is through following some number of steps, which I'll share with you today, not only was I able to get on top of the distraction, I was able to stop it. I was actually able to use it to my advantage. See, when you're on the front foot and you're clear about what you're doing and where you're going, you can get way ahead of other people that are distracted. People are running around distracted, worry about where they're going, what they're doing, but you're focused, you know where you're going and you work on it, you're going to be a lot more ahead of them. It's going to allow you to succeed a lot more, not only in your professional life and business life, but also within your relationships as well. Can you imagine coming home, your partner meets you, and you're just happy to see them, and all you're thinking is just of them, not about all the stuff going on in your life. All the trivial stuff is not important. So what I'll do is kind of go through a number of different distractions people have now, kind of what we can do to limit them, and what this will mean to your life. So we'll jump in and look at that just now. Okay, so what's the biggest causes of distraction? Well, the first one is news and social media. So we did a video previously about how news and social media affects you. And very importantly, I guess the first one is news. I don't know if you guys saw a lot of the election coverage over the last year, and a lot of stuff is going on in the world, but when you're given a constant never-ending stream of news that just stimulates you, it really does distract you. And what you can find you do is you're always looking for the next news article. So, and the challenge is from everything from the coronavirus, which yes is horrible, across to Donald Trump and the elections, is people are always being stimulated by different news sources coming in. See, the media is paid to make you, get focused and get emotional. So the first one is switching off the news. Stop watching it. Do you need to know what's going on in the morning? I don't think so. Stop watching the news. In the video we spoke about previously, we did a stop watching the news mental diet, where you stop watching all news. I suggest you watch that video, which is really important, but stop letting the news dictate how you feel. It's very emotional. The second way is social media. So social media has become a massive part of people's lives, so much so that I see kids these days, they won't get themselves off devices. So social media is everyone's looking at, what's John doing down the road and scrolling through it. The challenge is social media companies have made it that your endorphins are released by going through these news feeds and reading through these articles. So what you need to do is come off social media. So I only use social media really for my businesses. I put a couple of pictures on there occasionally, but really it's used to get out this video content to people. So you can see exactly, you can improve your lives and be a lot more focused. So also turn off the notifications on social media. Turn them off on Facebook, turn them off on Instagram. Stop being influenced by what they're doing is really important. And the third way is distraction is from friends and family. Much I love my friends and family, they can distract you. You could be working hard and being focused on something, and then suddenly the phone rings and they want to tell you about something that's happened, or they barge in and want to help you with something. Now the challenge is, as part of taking control of distraction to help you earn more money, is having times when you're not available anymore. So I suggest you sometimes mute the phone, turn the phone off, or turn it down, and have yourselves not available for a little while. What you can do, and this kind of goes with emails as well, is have a period that you're available and a period that you're not, and tell people about that. And actually have a voice message saying, look, I'm not available now for X, Y reason between these hours. And really stick to it, because unless you start to take control of your time, other people take control of your time. So that's the third way. The last way of distraction I want to talk about is our own distraction. So the challenge is, unless we know what we're doing with our life and what we want to be focused on, it's very hard for us to focus on things. The biggest challenge I had in the past when I was trying to be successful is I was trying to sit down and say, okay, great, I'm going to go and buy a property now. But I didn't know what property I was buying, how much money I had, where the property was going to be at. I'd get excited, but then there'd be no kind of process to doing it. So what you need to do is you need to be very clear about what you want. And when you become less distracted, what time you're going to be using it for. So so it's very, very important. Now, I'm not saying distraction is fine. I mean, you can go for runs. If you want to be distracted, you can. What I'm saying now is getting a bit of control over your life so you can think clearly. You can start to make decisions about where you want to go. So they're the four major distractions I see. I know there's a lot of other distractions which I don't want to go into in this episode here, but it's really important about knowing what the major distractions are and also limiting them and switching them off or managing them. So that's really, really important. Okay, great. So you switch off the news, you switch off the social media, you've got sessions where you're not available to anyone else, you stop having emails pinging towards you all the time. So what difference does this make? Well, if you think about it, going back to the story of when you woke up that morning and you had the whole day ahead of you. So imagine waking up that morning being refreshed, and instead of having to check the social media, checking the news, you wake up, make a nice cup of coffee, and you start your early morning success ritual. So we did a video previously about early morning success rituals. So we believe every single morning when you get up, there's things that you need to do to keep yourself in this state to be successful, to focus your mind, and to build you on the path to success. Now, this success formula basically gives you a number of different things you could do. So it's meditation, it's remembering key achievements from the past, it's focusing on the future, how you can give to people in the future, putting your energy out there, incantations. It provides a framework that allows your mind to not only be focused, motivated, but also excited about the future ahead. So we suggest checking out the video and also the podcast, the early morning success ritual. It's very, very important. It's something I've done every single day for the last 10 years. And I guess why it's so important is because it's a difference between when you do this ritual, the good behaviors become a habit, not something you're forced to do. See, the challenge at the moment, when you wake up, you have to consciously think about switching off the news, switching off the social media. You've got to consciously think about the things you've got to do to put yourself into the right mind. When I wake up in the morning, it's just business as usual. I go through the motions, I do my success ritual, I'm focused, I know I'm going to be available, I don't get distracted. And so this, it's the most important thing, because even if you move into something like investments and shares, if you're being distracted, how can you trade shares? How can you buy property? How can you be efficient at work? And this is where it costs you so much money, because being distracted all the time costs you a lot of money. You're just moving from one place to the next. You can never be focused on one thing. So distractions are critical. And there's a number of different ways as well that can help kind of plan it out. So do the early morning success ritual, switch off the distractions, and also start looking at goals. So start to set and think to yourself, okay, where do I want to be in 6 months and 12 months time, which is part of the early morning success ritual, and what do I want to do and how I'm going to get there. And put a lot of emotion towards that as well, because if you say I want to have a brand new house in 12 months, you're in debt at the moment. You think to yourself, you picture the house where you're going to have it, you put a lot of emotion behind the house. every morning you start to wake up and you start to work towards getting that house. Your behavior is congruent with it and your focus is there. So, get rid of distraction out of your life, slow the thinking down, become a lot more focused and a lot more pointed at the outcome you want, and life become a lot easier. You can make a lot more money. So, yeah, remove the distractions, even do it for a little while. So my challenge to you is this: for the next 48 hours, switch off the news, switch off the social media, give yourself a couple of hours every day where you're not contactable by anyone. Switch off the emails and accept the times that you guided for it. Slow things down, become focused, become happy, and you'll be a long way on the road to success. So I hope this showed you why distraction impacts money and how much you can earn, and the things you can do to help turn that around. So yeah, make sure you let me know what you think in the comments. I'm really excited to have you back with us again at Freedom in Hours.